Good morning. Welcome to Market Monday for August 4th, 2025. So, which is it? On one hand, a popular media group says the U.S. economy softened as tariffs weighed on the consumer, while another media organization says the economy returned to growth. Aren't they looking at the same information? The information they're looking at, of course, is second quarter GDP economic growth, which last week came in at 3%, higher than the 2.4% expected. And if you recall a few months ago, you see where GDP actually went negative here. Here's what we had to say about that then.
Of course, all this is to say, just because we get 1 quarter of negative GDP, it's not cause for major concern, especially because we talked about this a few weeks ago, imports front-running the tariff tantrum, subtracting almost a full 5% from GDP.
So imports front-running the tariffs, causing GDP to appear lower. See that red line there? That's what we're talking about, detracting the most from GDP in the last 75 years. But then what do we see? Look at this green line here. The lack of imports causing a positive adjustment to GDP. Would you believe it? Adding the most to GDP in the last 75 years. Should we not also discount the positive addition to this quarter's GDP? We must.
Big gains in equipment spending right here help to offset the declines from imports. Perhaps a better measure of underlying domestic demand is something called, ready? Real final sales to domestic purchasers. It's just GDP, which we just looked at, taking out changes in inventory here, net exports here, and government spending here.
So what's the real story? We often state that consumption is about 70% of GDP. The best measure of that is to strip out trade or imports, which we just looked at, inventories, and government spending to get a measure of what consumers and businesses are actually spending and investing. This is going back 2 years, clearly a slowing trend in private sector activity. In fact, business spending on AI has actually added more to GDP growth than consumer spending. So is there an AI bubble? Certainly, for every bubble in history, from the roaring 20s to Japan in the 80s, from .com to the housing boom and global financial crisis, and even the NFT and crypto craze of 2021, when, remember this? These cartoon images of rocks were trading at over $1 million.
The NFT market alive and well. A clip art of a rock, just sold for about 400 Ether, or about $1.3 million. That happened late yesterday. Ether Rock is a brand of crypto collectible that's been around since 2017, making it one of the oldest NFTs around. There's just 100 of them, only 100 of them. And according to the Ether Rock website, these virtual rocks serve no purpose beyond being able to be bought and sold. But they do give you a strong sense of pride in being an owner of one of only 100 rocks in the game.
Yep, clip art that has no purpose other than giving a strong sense of pride of being an owner. That's the type of excess we see in bubbles. Here's a news item from last week describing how Facebook, or Meta, is poaching tech talent from Google. $75 million just to join, with some offers stretching into 9 figures, meaning hundreds of millions of dollars, when the company has already committed $65 billion of AI infrastructure spending this year. What's a couple $100 million more? Bubble? Time will tell. And today we'll leave you with, last week Chad was talking about how JP Morgan decided they needed to be in the crypto game, or at least in the stablecoin game. Here's a reminder where they were just a few short years ago. Dangerous crypto, Ponzi scheme, not good for anybody. And just last week, yes, that same JP Morgan teaming up with crypto brokerage Coinbase to make buying crypto easier than ever, even with a Chase credit card. Can't make it up. Have a great week.